going to be learning the blues, and I know you guys are excited. Hopefully you're as excited as I am. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some foundational scales and really just a couple of key components of what you'll need to play the blues. And then I'm going to show you some licks, and then we're going to put it all together at the end. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's lesson. Make sure you hit subscribe, and make sure that you guys go check me out at refiningchampions.com. Alright, so first things first, you got to learn the three shapes. So I'm going to be playing each one of these three shapes, and I'm going to be giving you a PDF of each one of them. So make sure that before we even jump into soloing or any kind of licks or anything, that you guys get these three shapes down. Okay, now that you guys have those three shapes down, now we're going to take each of the one shapes, and I'm going to be showing you just one lick for each one of those three shapes, and then we're going to apply those licks to a chord progression over the 12-bar blues. Okay, so for this first lick, we're really going to try to highlight what is called the root note, and that's going to be the first string open, and we're just going to play it, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 3, 4, 1, and just try to make that an exercise. Just play with it, mess around with it. You can do it with a couple other notes. And really, you can make that a groove and expand on that lick a little bit. So here's me taking that groove and going down the scale with it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be on the first string open, 1 and then you just walk down that scale. So you're just going straight down the scale. Remember, we have the blues pentatonic scale, and you're just going to start with that first string open. Right, and then on that third part of the lick, on the G string, we're going to play it open, hammer onto the first fret, and then we're going to play the first string open right after we do that. That's a very blues-esque kind of little tag at the end of a lick that you'll hear a lot. Okay, so for lick 2, we're going to do kind of an ascension up the scale. Since this one we walk down the scale. So now we're going to go up another pattern. We're going to shift to the next pattern up, and then we're going to go up the scale and then hit the root note at the end. So let's try this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it starts on the G string with the pattern on the 7th fret, and you're going to hammer on from the 7th fret to the 9th fret. And then you're going to hit the 8th fret on the B string, back to the 9th fret. And then you're going to repeat that pattern on the B string. And remember, we're just going up the scale, up and down the scale with these licks. So hammer on the G string, starting on the scale on the 7th fret. And then the 8th fret on the B string. And you have to alter your fingers a little bit. So 1st and 3rd. Then you go the 8th fret, 1st finger to the 2nd finger on the G string, 9th fret, and then you repeat that pattern 8th fret to 10th fret, and then the 7th fret on the E string, back to the 10th fret. So I'll play it slow for you one more time. Here is the third lick with the third pattern, and I'm going to make this a very generic lick. And on the acoustic, we're going to have to, instead of doing a bend, since it's kind of hard to bend on the G string, especially way up here, we're just going to do a slide from the 14th fret to the 16th fret, and then we're going to play the 12th fret on the B string, 12th fret on the high E string, and the lick goes like this. And then what we're going to do, remember, we're just going up the scale. And then we're going to slide, just like we did on the lick, the second lick, we're going to slide back to that 12th fret. Usually it'd be a lot easier if we had a cutaway, but since this guitar isn't cut away, and especially since it's acoustic, we're going to alter the way that we're playing a little bit. But on an electric, you could totally get that bend there and do such a generic lick. And then what we're going to do to end it and top it off, so you're going to slide from the 14th to the 16th, roll your first finger and play the 12th fret on the B, 12th fret on the E, slide up from the 10th fret to the E on the 12th fret, and then what you're going to do is a pull off from the 15th on the B string down to the 12th fret, and then we're going to repeat the whole pattern. And even one of the ways that you can play this is take out that slide and save that for the end, and then we're just going to get a little loop going with this lick. So I'm going to play it slow for you. So from the 14th to the 16th, 12, 12, pull off 15th to the 12th fret. And remember, since this pattern is essentially the same as this pattern, we can take the lick that we played down here on the first position and shift it all the way up to this 12th fret position and go. And start to kind of implement licks in the different octaves. So this lick that we just did right here, we can do the same thing down here. And you just have to change the lick up a little bit slightly. So we're going to slide from the 2nd fret to the 4th fret, play open B, play open E, and then pull off from the 3rd fret to the open. Alright, now that we have those 3 licks down, now is the fun part. And I know you did all that hard work, and hopefully even if you gotten to this point, if you don't have the shapes down, do go back and take your time with them. And even, you'll get these shapes down over time. You just have to make them part of your daily routine and start implementing them with your practices and stuff like that. Play them before you play a show or anything, and just really get these shapes down and just make them a part of your DNA with your playing, and then start to get these licks down and start to get these licks to where you have them memorized. You don't have to think about them. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to apply these licks to the 12 bar blues. So let's jump into this.